Before you attempt this vectors question, you need to have a good understanding of vectors. I've already made several videos on vectors, so if you don't know, if you're not sure about vectors, I'll suggest you watch those videos first before watching me attempt this question. It is quite a difficult question. This is a difficult vectors question, a GCSE vectors question. You can pause the video and try yourself. Right, I'm about to show you now how to do this question. Once you've seen all the working out, you'll have to rewind the video one more time, and then it will make sense why I did things in certain order. All right, now let's get started. I'm going to work out vector A to B. Vector A to B is going to be vector A to C followed by C to B. Okay, you just need to follow the diagram. Now, perhaps I should label this. Right, vector C to A is already given here. I need to label that. Vector C to A is this, and vector C to B in that direction is given as B. Right, so to get from vector A to B is A to C and then C to B. Right, A to C, if you look at the diagram, it's -8 because we're opposing the direction of the arrow. And vector C to B, we're going in the same direction as the arrow, it's this. Or if you like, if you don't like having the negative at the beginning, you can swap them around. There, that's vector A to B. Now what I'm going to do is work out vector A to M, the midpoint, up to the midpoint, the middle, from A to M. Well, we know M is the midpoint because it tells you in the question that it's the midpoint of A to B. So A to M is going to be half of all of this. So I can just write it as half B minus A. If you want, you can write it like this: half B. If you just expand the brackets. Now what I will do is work out vector C to M. Now I know C to M is going to be vector C to A plus vector A to M, which I've got now. C to A, it's going in the direction of the arrow. If you look at the diagram, it's going in the same direction of the arrow, so it's going to be A plus all of this, A to M. That can be simplified. If you collect like terms, you can put a 1 there if it helps. 1A take away half A is just half A. I'm just collecting like terms, and then just got the half B by itself. So that's my vector C to M. One thing you need to understand that with the C to M, some information is given here. If you can see here in the question, C to M, there are 5 parts altogether. If you look at the ratio, it's 3 to 2. So the 3 parts here, 2 parts over here. Now what I'm going to do is work out vector C to P. Now C to P, think about it, C to P, if you look at the diagram, is in the same it's the same line, lies on the same line as C to M. All right, so C to P is actually 3/5, 3 parts out of 5 in total, 3/5 of C to M. If you look at the diagram, C to P, it's just a small part of C to M. It's 3/5 of C to M. So if I write this out now, 3/5. Now we know what C to M is already. It's here. That's C to M. And I'm going to put that in here. Expand the brackets now. And just multiplying fractions. Right, that's what I have now. All right, that is C to P. Now I'm going to do the next bit. Do it in a different color. One thing you need to understand is this. Vector A to P, vector A to P is a small fraction of A to N. Right, you can see A to P and A to N lie on the same straight line. You can check on the diagram. So if you multiply AP, if you multiply, let's say AP with a number, let's call it K, that'll give you A to N. Now K could be a whole number, could be fractional, could be anything, right? It's just a number. So if you multiply AP, whatever that is, with a number, K, and we're going to find out what the value of K is in a moment, that'll give you A to N. Both A to N and A to P lie in the same straight line, as you can see in the diagram. Now what I'm going to do is work out A to P with what I know already. A to P, well, to get from A to P, if you look at the diagram, you start at A, and you go to C, and then from C to P, which we already know it's here, right? So I'm going to use that information later on. Right, A to C is minus A, and then C to P, I already know it's here. I need to collect like terms now. You can put a minus 1 there. You can put a 1 there just to help you. You got minus 1A plus 3/10 A. That will give you minus 7/10 A, and the B term can stay where it is. It's just by itself. That's your vector A to P. Or if you don't like having the negative at the beginning, you can just swap them around. There. Now I'm going to work out vector A to N. It's to do with this bit over here. A to N we know is a multiple of A to P. It's a multiple. We're using that letter K, and we need to find the value of K very soon. So it's going to be K multiplied by whatever A to P is. Okay, in here, whatever the A to P is. I'm referring to this bit over here. Now, A to P is all of this. I'm going to expand the brackets. That is A to N. Right, for the next part, I'm going to work out what is C to N. Now C to N, if you look at the diagram, is it's C to A followed by A to N, which I've just worked out over here, all of that. Right, C to A C to A is already just A by itself, and A to N is all of this. Now, this is something you need to understand now. What I've just worked out is C to N. You've got to understand, I've just worked out what it is from here up to N. Now it's in the same direction as C to B, same direction. It's a bit smaller, but it's in the same direction. And you notice C to B is only this B over here. It's only got a B component. There's no mention of A component. From C to B, there's no mention of A components, right? The A does not even exist. Not even a single part of A exists in it. So it should be the same for C to N because it's in the same direction. From C to N, there should not be any A components. Right, so what I'm going to do is just put a 1 there just to help you. Right, see this 1 over here, I'm going to just do it in a different color. This 1A minus 7 tenths or 7k tenths, 7k over 10, it does not exist. It's 0. So what I'm trying to say is this 1 minus 7/10 k is actually equal to 0. I need to find the value of k. I need to solve it. Well, one thing I can do, there's many ways you can solve this. You can solve it in your own way if you want. I'm just going to do plus 7/10 k, both sides. This will cancel. You're left with 1 is equal to this thing over here. Right, to get k by itself, just times by 10 and then divide by 7. One times 10 is 10. Right, these cancel, you're just left with 7k. So therefore, k is equal to 10 over 7. K is equal to 10 over 7. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to substitute this k into here, into just this value of k. Remember, the A components don't exist because C to N, remember what I said, from C to N, it's in the same direction as C to B, and C to B is just a little b, right? So C to N should not have any A components. So I'm going to cross them out now. Well, not cross them out, just strike them off like this. They don't exist. So the only place where I'm going to put 10 over 7, this fraction, is replace this k with 10 over 7. Right, I'm going to do that. I'll just continue over here. So C to N is equal to, remember the A components don't exist. Replace the k with 10 over 7. That means over here there's a 10 on the numerator, 10 on the denominator. These all cancel out. You're left with Cn, C to N is 3/7 of B. Remember, B, just B by itself, is all the way from C to B. That's all of just 1B. And C to N is 3/7 of that 1B. So really, from C to N is 3 parts, and N to B is the remaining parts, 4. Right. So 3 parts of C to N and 4 parts N to B. So to answer the question then, work out the ratio C to N, N to B. It's 3. It's 3 to the ratio, right here, C to N, N to B is 3 to the ratio of 4, right, based on what I've got over here. Right, that's your final answer. What you need to do now, you'll need to rewind the video, and once you do that, you'll understand why I'm doing certain things in certain order.